Hey, I'm Will Sayre from MovieWeb. It's great to be chatting with you, Calum. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. It's great to talk to you as well.
Oh yeah, likewise, and congratulations on So Torn. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Thank you. I agree. It's such a fun film, and Fred and Freddie are both amazing people to collaborate with. So I'm excited to be talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Your character, Joshua. I feel like, no spoilers, of course, but I feel like he's kind
Right.
of. Oh, can you hear me? 100? Can you hear me? Okay.
I can, yeah.
Okay, okay. Sorry. I feel like Joshua, like, no spoilers, but I feel like he's like distressed 100% of the time, during this movie. You feel bad for him,
Yeah.
but you nail it. I mean, it's such a great performance. I mean, given that he's so kind of like traumatized a lot of the time, would you say that because of that, this is like one of your most challenging performances? Or was it sort of like, oh, I've done this before, like kind of same old thing, kind of?
No, I mean, I think it definitely was one of my most challenging performances because he's at a 10 the entire time. So
Yeah.
it was like he basically starts out at a 10, and then it's trying to figure out the trick was making sure you escalate it from there. Where
Yeah.
the stakes are already high, and then the trick was trying to figure out how do you elevate the stakes even farther than that.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and but I got to say Freddie was so great to work with because he really likes to keep actors um, maintaining whatever process they want to maintain
Yeah.
during the film. And with me, I basically just stayed in that distressed period most of the shooting day, except for like lunch. And I think it really helped because there's so many shots in the film, and Sebastian, our cinematographer, just did such an amazing job at making it feel very cinematic. And so for me, I was just like, I think it's just easier if I just stay distressed the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, you nailed it. And yeah, a lot of twists and
Uh,
turns and juicy developments. It's just, yeah, I can't wait for everyone else to see it.
I
And
appreciate
uh and yeah, again, no spoilers, but which sort of element or feature component of the movie's sort of end result are you most excited for viewers to experience? Like if there was one certain part or performance or element or something unique about this movie that you're really excited about.
I'm really excited about people discovering Freddie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an amazing filmmaker. I'm both a, a colleague of his and a fan.
Yeah.
And I remember first seeing the So Torn short film
Right.
before I ever worked with them, and I just could not believe how different it was and how cinematic it was, and it felt like I couldn't tell how old this filmmaker was because I didn't know who made it, and it felt like it was both um, nostalgic and also new wave. And I was really impressed with it just living in its own world. So I couldn't wait to meet whoever made it. And then I met Freddie and realized he was so young. He was
Yeah.
like he was like in his early 20s, and he'd already figured out and mastered this incredible cinematic quality that it takes a lot of people decades to kind of hone and craft. And I just thought, well, I want to be on this guy's ride. I just want to be on set with him and see how his brain works.
Yeah, me too. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he does next. Uh,
Yeah.
cool. Well, yeah, that's very exciting. And you've been keeping busy, over the years. This is the latest of, a number of acclaimed projects that you've starred in. I remember seeing you in American Vandal. That was such a hilarious series. And then I was curious, going from that, which is like a parody of everyone's obsession with true crime, and then
Yeah.
going to star in The Act, which is serious and based on an actual crime story. I mean, did that sort of, I don't know if irony is the word, but going from American Vandal to that, did that strike you at all? Oh, now I'm actually kind of acting in something for real, or was it just like going from one exciting project to the next?
You know, so interesting. I hadn't actually thought about them both being true crime, but on such different ends of the spectrum in
Right.
terms of how they're approaching it. I had not thought about that until just now. That's really
That's
interesting.
what
I'm
I'm
almost
here
glad I
for,
didn't. Exactly. I'm almost glad I didn't think that because I think I would have. also approached the act the wrong way mentally and kind of and second guessed uh how I approach it possibly. I don't know. I mean, I both were such different projects. I think the thing that was so similar about both of them was the the storytellers behind each of those projects were so dedicated to making sure there was authenticity and we could really feel for the characters. And I think what's so interesting about both of them, because I never really talked about both of them at the same time, but they actually were quite similar in the sense that um, we wanted it to feel truthful and we wanted to feel empathy. And one approached it through a comedic, ironic lens, and the other approached it through a very truthful uh, retelling with a lot of empathy attached to it in that way. But in some ways, the approach in a story sense was actually the same. So it's very interesting that you mentioned both of them, even though they're completely different results.
Right.
But I
Totally.
noticed that the conversations with the showrunners on both projects really came from a place of empathy and caring. So it is interesting, actually. They are similar.
Yeah. Well, thank God you didn't meet me till after to
Totally, totally. Or else I would have blown it.
totally psych you out. But
No.
yeah, those are both great. So Torn is
Ah, thank
great.
you.
And of course, this year I think marks I think 10 years officially since the final season of Austin and Alley started
Oh,
here.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I noticed that sort of milestone, and I was curious if you stay in touch with the cast and crew at all, and do you ever find yourself reflecting on that experience as you know, take on these, uh, more recent projects?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's what's interesting about Austin Alley is it's such a part of my life because my closest friends are from that show. Like Laura Rainey Ross, they're some of my best friends, and people that were on the other side of the camera as well, like Kevin Heath, the creators. They're two of my best friends. I'd see them all the time. Um, Laura James, one of our directors, she's one of my best friends. So it is a very tight knit group. So it does it's amazing. I didn't actually realize it's been 10 years until you're full of surprises for me today. You're putting everything together for me.
Again,
Uh,
that's what I'm here for.
I appreciate it. We need to talk more often.
Yeah.
But I think also because it really um had a massive effect on a generation. And whenever I see people who grew up with it, there's definitely a connection that people have to it that's very different than most projects. A lot of projects people watch mostly because of the story, and they're watching it because um, that they heard good reviews or whatever. And with Austin Alley, it had both of those things, but it also was a part of people's childhood and a pivotal moment in their lives when they're kind of shaping who they are. And I think that it touches your heart in a different way. I know that I found that with like Boy Meets World was my show, and I
Me
met
too. Me too.
yeah, you as well. Okay, cool. So I met Ben and I met Danielle as well, who played Topanga, and obviously, and I was so starstruck in a way that, I mean, they were both amazing actors, but it was also this other level where I was like, oh, it's like I'm meeting a childhood hero, and it's a little bit different. And I'm not trying to say I'm a childhood hero to anybody, but it does have a different bond between the viewer and the actor behind that character. So I love that show. It's had such an amazing impact on me, and I'm grateful that people still like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I'm sure people are still, watching it, on wherever it's still, Disney Plus and syndication
Yeah.
and all that. People are still talking about it. So yeah, that's great. And that's great to hear that you're still, friends with everyone. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm extremely close. Like I think I've texted all three of them this week.
That's
So
great.
we're like very close.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And we mentioned American Vandal. Speaking of, the great Jimmy Tatro, who I'm also a huge
Best.
fan of. I think I saw that it looks like you're teaming up with him again for an upcoming project called Bright Futures. Am I mistaken, or is that?
So that's a project that I think uh we did it maybe about 4 years ago. It was a
Okay.
pilot, and it didn't end up getting picked up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, but it was so fun working with him on another project that was so different. We
Yeah.
were, we played we played roommates on it. So it was a really great pilot script. Kenya Barris is behind it, who I just love. I saw him actually not too long ago to movie theater. Um, it was a great team that was putting it together. And it was Lily Sang was also part of it, who I adore. Um, yeah, it was a really fun one. I wish it had gone. That's one of the pilots I've done that I think it really should have been picked up just because it was such an amazing group, and I just would have loved to have hung out with them for a few years.
Absolutely. Yes. Is there something you're working on or, recently something that you're looking forward to its release or something you want to share about looking ahead?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I have a film called 86 that's coming out. I think it's maybe either later this year or early next year. I'm very excited about that one. It's like So Torn, where it was a huge commitment to the character, and just like So Torn, the director Cliff, who was behind it, is just incredible, and such a visionary, and is one of the next great storytellers, just like Freddie is as well. I mean, I got to say, like Freddie, even though he's so young, I already see him as one of the greats, and I just cannot wait to see what heights he hits.
Yeah. Well, it's great. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I saw that online as well. Yeah, that
Yeah.
looked like a great cast in addition to yourself. So I'll
Oh,
definitely
thanks.
stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, congratulations again on So Torn. I thought it was wonderful and
Thank you.
excited for everyone else to see it.
I really appreciate that, Will, and it's great talking to you.
Yeah,
We got to have more catch-ups because you're contextualizing my life in a way I need.
yeah, that's I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, make sure you're
Thank you.
keeping it
I
all in
appreciate it. If
perspective. Yeah. But yeah, it was great chatting with you.
you ever
Thank
need that for yourself, just call me.
Yeah, right. I will. Yeah. And yeah, let's do this again soon, maybe on your next project. So thanks again.
I'd love that.